Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Gaming Night. Tonight is a special episode, it's going to be a little lengthy. I don't know if it's going to be one or two parts. I really haven't decided yet. It all depends on how much time went into this video. So anyways, before I get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, I'm going to do some talking. First off, I'd like to thank all you guys for taking the time and to subscribe and watch my videos, comment. I really appreciate all that stuff. Trying new things out still, trying to figure out with all my editing software what I can and can't do and things like that, and trying to keep it exciting and fresh for you guys. And you know, I like to do stuff like unboxings and different things, but I like to put my own spin on things. So with the stuff I do, and I'm trying to make. With that being said, let's get to talk about. So, anyways, this video, what we talk about today and doing today goes back a long time. In fact, I first heard about this game a long time ago. I used to play. I was in school, and there were kids that were talking about it and how it revolutionized, games that particular caliber or style, have you, and there was nothing like it on the market. And I'm hearing all these things, and I'm like, yeah, right. There's no such game that's gonna have all that stuff in it, right? There's no way. Disbelief, and one day I family tournaments, and lo and behold, the arcade was the game that everyone talked about. That was like one of the very first games of its style, fighting games I ever picked up and played. That got me started and hooked on other kind of fighting games and stuff. So that one, and I went back and heard about like Street Fighter and all that stuff. So this game goes a long way, for me. So for this game to, come to a full circle and come to what it is today, it's incredible, because this game was one of those games that was the start of all the ESRB and stuff, because there was nothing quite like it. The ESRB and all that stuff is just, there wasn't nothing like it. So yeah, and the ESRB decided to take a thing, but also the game did come out, and the home consoles. But that's what started all the whole, basically, in my opinion, started the whole console wars, because all because of this. This system right here was one of the main reasons a lot of people were glad they had the Genesis. I liked a lot of the games like Sonic and everything, but this system alone was the only one that had the guts to push this to the limits, and didn't care what and then for that everyone's like, oh man, we need the ESRB for this, because they got flagged for that, people getting a hold of it. And Nintendo, they didn't want to go that route. They wanted to stay family friendly, and I think, in the opinion, they're, even though the graphics were better for the Super Nintendo at the time, the sound was a lot better. I think what hurt it was the fact that they weren't willing to. They stripped it, and even though it wasn't as groundbreaking on the Sega Genesis, quality wise, what it did have made up for it, and so, and that's what really, I think, started. So before I get into my thing, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go back to where it all started, and yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So,
are you telling me you built a time machine?
And no, we do not need the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity, and neither do we need a DeLorean to do this. So I want you guys to come back with me to beginning of all this, and to where it all began. So hold on to your hats. So just make yourself comfortable. Get some popcorn. Get a comfy chair, wherever you like to go to get all your YouTube fixings. But since this video is lengthy, it's going to take some time. I want you to get comfy. So So let's go back to where it all started. Alright. Whoa. What am I doing here? Alright, Mortal Kombat, so where did we begin? Well, the series began originally as a game based on popular actor martial arts Jean-Claude Van Damme. The idea fell through, and Mortal Kombat was born instead. They were basically digitized characters rather than hand-drawn ones like in the other fighting games, which drew that again. The original games and their updates were styled in 2D fighting fashion, with the gameplay consisting of 6 buttons that were high punch, low punch, high kick, and low kick, and block. Run was added with Mortal Kombat 3, which now another thing is the original Mortal Kombat was developed with digitized sprites based on actors as opposed to animated character graphics. Mortal Kombat 4 brought the series in 3D, replacing the digitized fighters of previous games with polygon models. However, that one was not as successful as the 2D was. This is my opinion anyways. More so than any other fighting game, Mortal Kombat was famous for recoloring certain sprites to appear as different characters. This was most prominent with the series' various ninja assassin characters. Many of the most popular characters spawned from these palette swaps. So, Mortal Kombat started development in 1991 with only 4 people: Ed Boon, Job Tobias, John Vogel, and Dan Forden. As Ed Boon stated in an interview with Major Nelson, the first Mortal Kombat game was 4 guys, literally 1 programmer, Ed Boon himself, 2 graphic guys, Tobias and Vogel, and the second guy, Forden, was the entire team, literally. Sorry. Now, there's Easter eggs and secrets. Mortal Kombat included secret characters, secret games, and other Easter eggs. Mortal Kombat 3, for example, included a hidden game of Galaga, as well as a hidden game of Pong in Mortal Kombat 2. Many extras in the game have only been accessible through very challenging, demanding, and sometimes coincidental requirements. Some Easter eggs are in jokes between the development team. One is Toasty, which was found its way into the game in form of a small image of sound developer Dan Forden, who would appear in the corner of the screen during gameplay after performing an uppercut, and yell the word Toasty. So that's where that one is. The other thing that made the Mortal Kombat different than the other one was the fact that there was gore and blood in the case of the fatality finishing moves. Mortal Kombat included fatalities finishing moves that allowed players to end a fight by killing their opponent in a gruesome manner. It was developed in order to give gamers a free hit. Yeah, Mortal Kombat never really took itself seriously, and they were really fond of putting a lot of extra Easter eggs in their games. Some, of course, of the Easter eggs originated from in-jokes between the members of the development team. One example is the Toasty, which found its way into the game in form of a small image of the designer Dan Forden, and he just would come in the screen and say, "Toasty!" And then another one of the Easter eggs was a private joke between the character Noobside was basically a series of surnames from Ed Boon and John Tobias. It's them spelled backwards, their names. Also, the character Ermac came about from the first Mortal Kombat, which there was a diagnostic screen that said Ermac 5, and players presumed this dealt with a secret character, so naturally they decided to create Ermac. In Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, the character Mocop is based upon Carlos Pacina, who leads the motion capture team for modern MK games, and previously played Raiden in the first and second games. So just those little tidbits there. But with fame comes a lot of other problems that Mortal Kombat has gone through the years. There's been few court cases, or many, depending on how you look at it. Daniel Pursuit sued Midway Games, Win Electronics Incorporated, alleging that all defendants used his persona name and a likeness without authorization in the home version of Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat 2 and their related products. So that was another one. On May 28, 1997, Philip Ann, Shang Tsung, Elizabeth, Malaki, Sonia, and Catelyn Zamir Katana, Melina, and Jade jointly sued Midway Games, Williams Electronics, and claimed for using their likeness in an authorized way. So it's that they were only a model for the coin-operated video games and not the Sequoia home video game, home computer, and handheld version of the game, which is kind of lame if you ask me. And then November 22nd, 1977, this one put the whole game on big hot water. A 13-year-old Noah Wilson died from when his friend Yancey stabbed him in the chest with a kitchen knife. The mother of Noah, Andrea Wilson, alleged that the son was stabbed to death because of his obsession with the mid-game Mortal Kombat. She alleges that Yancey S. was so obsessed with the game that the child thought he was actually the character Cyrax. However, despite the character's other varieties of finishing moves, the character Cyrax did not perform this move at all. The conclusion of Williams Midway Games was, according to court cases report, Williamson's complaint fails to state a common claim upon which relief can be granted. The product's liability for Mortal Kombat is not a product, but the product of the CPLA. So, in 2006, attorney Jack Thompson ordered a case and desist the Mortal Kombat Armageddon, stating that today has come to my attention that the recently Mortal Kombat Armageddon contains authorized commercial exploitation of my name, photographed image, and likeness with the game. In fact, that what Thomas thought was actual character put by the development of the game was actually created by a player who used the game's creative fire mode to construct a likeness of Thompson and demonstrate it in a film on YouTube. So, those are some of the court cases and stuff that this game has gone through. Hey guys, we're gonna show you all around the box here. It's kind of heavy, sort of. I don't know, it's got a little weight to it. Let's start by man, stuff here. Alright, I'm gonna get a different angle here so I can get a better view here. Alright, we're gonna proceed to finishing opening this box. Wow, there's a lot of tape on here. Alright, now we get to the goodies. Oh, maybe not. Got that edge. Alright, we're gonna get... What the...